Brexit Britain's successful trade negotiations with India have sparked the envy of Dutch Eurosceptics. Britain and India formally launched free trade agreement talks in New Delhi on Thursday with the aim of wrapping up a deal by the end of the year that could boost annual bilateral trade by billions of pounds. The move has sparked the envy of Nexit think tank campaigners in the Netherlands, who lament the EU is preventing Dutch businesses to flourish in new markets. They said, the United Kingdom and India are discussing a free trade agreement. According to the British government, exports to India will double. That is something they are allowed to do now and can do after Brexit. As an EU member, only the EU may conclude trade agreements for the Netherlands. The Netherlands has millions of people with Indonesian blood. Why don't we also conclude trade agreements ourselves with such emerging economies? The history is there. Why do we have to commit ourselves to countries like Bulgaria and Romania, EU, which only want our money? India will be able to compete with China and the US in a few decades. If the British can conclude a trade agreement with such a country, what do we need the EU for? It was constantly said that they could do nothing without the EU. The EU itself does not have a free trade agreement with India. The free trade agreements that the EU concludes with countries such as Vietnam are not that strong at all. The Netherlands can do this much better itself. With the EU we are not stronger together, we are weakened because the EU cannot represent our national interests. Nexit. Britain has made a deal with India one of its post-Brexit priorities as, free from the European Union's common trade policy, ministers look to gear trade policy towards faster-growing economies around the Indo-Pacific region. Meeting in New Delhi on Thursday, Indian Trade Minister Piyush Goyal and his British counterpart Anne-Marie Trevelyan said they would also launch an early harvest or a limited-scope interim trade agreement in the next few months, before finalizing the free trade agreement. This is an opportunity that we must seize to steer our partnership along the track of mutual prosperity for the decades to come, Trevelyan said. Britain said the deal could almost double British exports to India, and by 2035 boost total trade by £28 billion, $38.3 billion, per year. Total trade in 2019 was worth £23 billion, according to British statistics. India and former colonial power Britain already share strong trade ties, and more than 1 million people of Indian origin live in Britain after decades of migration. India is seeking greater opportunities for Indians to live and work in Britain, and any trade deal could be contingent on relaxing rules and lowering fees for Indian students and professionals going to Britain. However, Goyal said that sensitive issues will not be a roadblock as both countries will not make them a necessary condition for the trade deal. Nothing is necessarily a deal-breaker in this agreement, Goyle said. And I will not think there is any way for anybody to worry about issues which are sensitive to any country, because both sides have agreed that sensitive issues are not our priority, he added. Ministers want to tap into the wealth of India's middle classes and their appetite for premium British products like Scotch whisky. They also hope India can become a big customer of its green technology industry, and that existing service sector trade routes can be strengthened.